This is Kevin with Ken Sewing Center. Today I want to talk to you about the Necchi Creator C2000 sewing and embroidery machine. This is the combination top of the line sewing and embroidery machine from Necchi. It's got a lot of great features, a lot of great value. So let's dive into this machine. I want to give you a brief overview of the sewing side of the machine and then also the embroidery side. On the sewing side of the machine, you'll notice this particular machine is going to be extremely easy for us to operate. It's got the big color screen on it. I can see what I'm needing to do. I can push what button I need to do, and I don't have to worry about hitting a lot of buttons to get to where I want to go. All my computer controls are right here in front of me. And once we get into the sewing stitches, it's going to be really easy for us to pull those stitches up, change lengths and widths. I can override the speed of the machine here. Now I can use the machine with or without the foot control. I will have the start-stop button here. So if I don't want to use the foot control, you don't have to, but there is an included foot control with it. I have the built-in scissor. This is a huge feature to have on a machine. Hey everybody, in this video I want to talk to you about the Necchi C2000 sewing and embroidery machine. This is the top of the line in the Necchi series. It has a lot of top of the line features, accessories, and software that's included with it. We're going to show you both the sewing side and the embroidery side of this machine, and we hope this video helps you decide which Necchi embroidery or sewing machine is right for you. Feel free to give us a call. Ken Sewing Center is an authorized Neechi dealer. We carry all Necchi models. We can compare this model to any other model in the Necchi line, or for any other brand for that matter, and help you find the right machine for you. This machine is a very attractive machine. The way that it's made, it's going to be a lot larger on the sewing side than your average sewing machine, so it covers so many more sewing applications than the average combination sewing and embroidery model. You'll notice first on the screen I have the huge 5-inch color screen. I can easily see, it's crystal clear. I can see all my buttons. I don't have to push a lot of buttons to get to where I'm needing to go. It's all laid out really nice and easy for me. Everything is categorized on the sewing side being utility stitches. There's 4 full pages of stitches, and when I pull a stitch up, this is the actual size of that stitch. So when I go to adjust my width or my length settings, which is right here handy in front of me, it'll automatically override that and show me how big that stitch is for me. It will recommend the correct presser foot for the stitch that I'm doing, so I always make sure and I'll know that I have the right foot on the machine. But everything's laid out really easy. All the stitches are going to be categorized by function, whether it be utility, whether it be decorative. And I have numerous alphabet fonts built in on the sewing side. Now this machine does a 7mm width, so that's roughly a 1/4 inch. So for a men's dress shirt, or if you're making a quilt label or a garment tag, that's the perfect size on the sewing side of the machine. When you get to the embroidery, we can do huge letters, huge monogramming, the whole 9 yards. The machine will be very easy to thread. I've got a top winding bobbin here for winding my bobbins, and I have the horizontal spool pin. Now you can get the vertical spool pin that goes right here. There's a place for it, and I can do twin needle sewing with this machine. Everything is going to be channeled for me all the way down to my needle. That makes it really easy about threading the machine, and then I will have the built-in needle threader. I do have on the front of the machine, all my computer controls are nice and laid out for me right here in front of me. So I can use and override the speed of the machine. If I want to use my foot control, I can have it pressed all the way down. If I've got this slider all the way to the left, it's going to go at the slowest speed, overriding that speed of the machine. You may be working in a tight area, you may have an expensive piece of material, or you may have a new person that you're showing, teaching how to sew or embroider. We want to make sure we keep it slow. But as time goes on, you're going to operate at the maximum speed. We do have the built-in scissor on the Creator machine. This is one of the most popular features I've seen on any brand that's out there. There's no telling how many customers over the years have came to me and said, Kevin, this is the #1 reason I continue to buy machines. I will not buy another machine unless it has a scissor. That will spoil you, because you'll be surprised how many times you get your scissors to do snipping, especially in embroidery mode. But we can hit that scissor at any given time. It's going to snip my bobbin and the top thread for me. I will have the needle up, needle down feature built into the Creator. There's times I want my needle to stop in the fabric. If I'm sewing down a piece of material, I get to the corner, I can have it so when I let off my foot control, if I hit stop, the needle will stop in the fabric. Then I can raise my presser foot up and I can turn that corner, and it's going to make it look so much better, so prettier on top of my material. I do have the ability to raise and lower the presser foot just at the touch of a button. Now you will have the traditional lever in the back here that you can raise and lower that, but this is another great feature to have, so I don't have to reach around. I can keep my hands on my material and just simply hit that for turning the corners. This is my start stop button, so if I don't want to use my foot control, I can use the start stop button to power the machine. When you're in embroidery mode, you're going to use start stop 100% of the time. You have the choice in embroidery mode of using your foot control or the start stop button. The Creator 2000 will have the auto lock feature. Auto lock ties the stitch off underneath so it's hidden and out of the way. It's just going to make your garment, whatever that you're sewing, look so much prettier. The stitching on top, you won't see that ugly back tack like you do on traditional machines because it's going to tie it off underneath so it's hidden and out of the way. Now we'll have traditional reverse built in on the Creator 2000 if you so and choose you want to do that. On the front here, it does come with a knee lift, and the knee lift is an attachment, plugs right in the front of the machine, and I use my knee to actually raise and lower the presser foot. So I can keep my hands on the material if you're doing free motion stippling or whatever it is you're doing. If you're working with a larger piece of material, you want to keep both hands on the fabric so that the fabric's not going all over the place on me. We'll have on the Creator 2000, it has the 7-point feed dog system. It has a large, long feed dog, but it's touching my fabric in 7 places. So for your lighter weight material, it's going to help keep the fabric flat while that needle's penetrating the garment. That's going to reduce puckering and just going to help the machine feed that fabric through easier. If you're working with heavier materials, like say 8 layers of denim, the machine can easily handle that thickness with no problem whatsoever, but having those big wide feed dogs and the 7 points that's contacting everything, it's going to make it a breeze for you feeding all that through. The Creator 2000 does have the top drop-in bobbin, has a see-through lid so I can actually see my bobbin at any given time. Now, there are sensors on the machine that will let me know when I'm getting low. It's always nice to be able to see that, and it's going to be extremely easy for me to thread the bobbin as well. The bobbin case rather, there's one slit I put my thread through. It's channeled as well, and there's a little razor that nicks that off for me so I don't have to worry about threading my bobbin. I like how they did the accessory tray on this machine. It easily pulls off, but there's 2 compartments and they fold out toward you. And I have plenty of nooks and crannies, plenty of places made for my presser feet to go in so I keep everything nice and neat and organized. There's plenty of accessories that comes with it, but there's all kind of optional accessories that you can get for the Creator 2000 that you're not going to outgrow this machine anytime soon. So if I'm hemming pant legs or shirt sleeves, I can take that off and it exposes my free arm. Now for you quilters and garment sewers, you're going to love the 2000 because from my needle to the inside of the sewing arm is 9 inches. Folks, the majority of the machines on the market that are sewing and embroidery are going to be anywhere from around 6 to 7 inches maximum. You got 9 inches to work with. So if I'm doing a quilt, doing free motion work, I've got all this room here to actually roll my quilt up or the garment that I'm working with. The more room we have, it's just more comfortable about sewing on the machine. You're going to get a lot better quality product. You're not going to get tired as quick either because I'm not wrestling with that fabric. Everything is feeding and being supported within the sewing arm. If you'll also notice, there's full illumination here on the bed of the machine and all the way around the needle, and it's LED lighting. So this is going to be true white light. If I'm wanting to match fabrics to thread colors, I can easily do that so much better. You're going to be under less eye strain and you're going to enjoy what you're doing longer. Now the Creator 2000 is going to have the ability for us to go in on the screen here. I can pull up the stitch I'm going to do, and it can handle sewing lighter weight to heavier materials with no problem whatsoever. And let's do a little bit of sewing on the Creator 2000 just to show you just how durable this machine is. Now we're going to do some sewing on the Creator 2000. And one thing you'll notice in the details, we have a lot of information on our website with all the different specs of this particular machine, but you get a nice feature that you only find on just a few select machines on the market, and that is a dual feed. This one has the built-in dual feed system, or what you call the walking foot system. I can engage that at any given time. Now to sew the amount of material we're about to sew now, I don't need the dual feed, but we're going to leave it engaged just to show you for demonstration purposes. This is nice to have at any given time, but I'm going to have 8 layers of denim here. Now this is roughly the side seam on a pair of denim blue jeans. that I'm going to be sewing through. The machine will have automatic tensions. If you'll notice, I have extra high lift under my presser foot right here. So I've got plenty of room to get my material up and underneath the foot of the machine. And all I have to do is I'll lower the presser foot down. I have automatic pressure as well that's pressing down on my fabric. The machine is sensing that and also sensing the correct tension for me, so I don't have to worry about changing anything. It's going to do that for me. We're going to back the speed down and put it on a straight stitch, and I want to show you the power and the versatility of why you want to have a top drop-in bobbin machine, because I don't have to worry about it jamming up. It's going to crawl down, it can crawl up over. If you're doing sewing applications, it's going to be able to handle that with no problem whatsoever. So as we sew right along, I want to back down just a little bit more, just so you can see what the machine is doing. Once it crawls from this 8 layers of denim, immediately it's going just to 2 little thin layers of cotton. The machine is going to automatically adjust our tensions for us. I don't have to worry about any skip stitches. It's not going to pucker the fabric. Don't have to worry about any of that at all. And then we'll speed it up so you can see how fast it can operate. And then I get to the end of my seam, I'm going to hit the auto lock feature. It's going to tie that stitch off for me automatically. I'll hit my scissor. It'll snip the bobbin in the top thread for me, and it's going to raise the presser foot up for me, so everything is nice, neat, and clean. So here I've went from extreme heavy, which is 8 layers of denim, to a cotton, to the stretch material. There's no puckering whatsoever. I haven't had to adjust the tension whatsoever. Now let's go into the embroidery part of the machine and show you just how easy the Creator 2000 is in the embroidery mode. Built in on the Necchi 2000, I'm going to have a lot of tutorials built in. I can go here on tutorials, and it gives me a lot of instructions about doing different things on the machine, whether it be different topics of how to thread the bobbin, putting on the presser foot. There's 2 pages here of information that I can pull up and show me. Now you will have an instruction manual that you can get for the machine, as well as Ken Sewing Centers will help you 6 days a week. We have 4 full-time technicians here. We're glad to help you. I have several educators that can help you with anything there is about this machine. But as we go back, I can go back to my first page here, and there's instructions. I can pull up different instructions about the pressure foot adjustment. If I need to go in and change something on the machine, I'm able to do that within the hard drive of the machine. And don't worry, you're not going to erase anything off the hard drive of the machine whatsoever. As I go back, I can go back and take a look at different topics as far as what stitches do what, and it'll show me what stitch I need to go to for doing that application. So we have all that built in on the machine, and then I can go in, there's settings on my machine if I want to change things to the hard drive, meaning the maximum speed of the machine, if I need to do something about changing the tension. And this is something I would rarely change. If you're running into tension issues, the first thing you want to do is be sitting in front of your machine and give us a call and ask to speak to technicians. We can help you with that before you go in trying to do things like this. If we want to go in and change some of the things on the machine, we can do that. If we need to calibrate the hoop, do things about trimming the threads out, I can do that. There's 2 pages here of things I can do to the machine. And then there's a lock. If you're worried about little ones around you or somebody accidentally hitting the start-stop button and starting the machine, I can always lock it as I'm leaving. Once you come back, it won't do anything until we hit the unlock button, and then I'm ready to go. Another thing about the Creator 2000, this machine can hook up to your Wi-Fi router. So if I want to send a design from my computer, I can. We also can download updates. As time to time, Necchi will have updates for the machine that we can download and update our machine, or you can use the USB port that's built into the machine. Now we're in embroidery mode. I've got my embroidery unit. It does come with the embroidery unit. This machine will give you the large, there's 3 different size hoops that comes with it. This machine roughly is 7 inches this way, 12 inches this way. So we have a very spacious embroidery field, and I really like how the embroidery hoops actually are on this large one with the clamp system the way it is. And I carry a lot of brands that's on the market. This is one of the best systems that you'll find. It's going to make it a lot easier for you hooping when you're working with larger garments. Now, the machine will have sensors built in, so it'll know exactly what hoop that I have on the machine when I start embroidering. You will get 3 that's included. And Ken Sewing Center does carry all the optional accessories made for the Creator 2000. This machine does come with digitizing software, so you're not going to need anything else out of the box except your thread, your embroidery bobbin thread, and the white light stabilizer that you see here. We carry all that. We can help you find the right stabilizer and the right thread to meet your needs. I like the channeling system on this. It makes it really easy for me to hoop. Everything slides right in a channel and then it locks in place. This hoop is not coming off. I don't have to worry about it coming off in mid-embroidery. Then, once I get ready, the machine tells me it needs to calibrate the embroidery arm. It's done that, and then I can go in on the different options here on the screen. We'll go in and look at the alphabet fonts. Here I have 7 that's built in, so we'll do this pretty cursive one just to show you for demonstration. I can do upper and lower case. And then when I get it set like I want to, I'm going to hit the arrow next. The machine is going to show me here. It's going to recommend the size hoop. It's going to tell me how many stitches are in that. And I can do a lot of editing to this design. There's a lot of computer controls built in. If I want to edit, bring in more designs, if I have a USB port built in on the side of the machine, so if I digitize a design or if I have a design I get off the internet, I can import it into the Creator. Now this machine reads all the major embroidery formats, so I don't have to worry about if I've got a Brother design, Janome design, Tajima design. It's going to be able to read the majority of embroidery files that's on the market. So that's just going to open you up to so many more choices for you of finding. I mean, there you can do in Google free embroidery designs and there'll be millions of designs pop up. Now all I have to do is I lower the pressure foot down. If I've got everything set just like I want it, check out everything. I'll hit my green arrow. I'm going to save. Now it's fixed to embroider this design out for me. You notice everything turned to green. Now let's go. Now I can slow that speed down right here on my slider. The slower the speed you can get by with, you can tolerate, the better the quality the stitch is going to be. Now that's pretty much universal with any brand that's on the market. But one thing I do like about the Necchi machine, most companies give you the speed slider, but it's overridden when you go to embroidery mode. Well, not with the Necchi machine. I can actually speed it up right here. I don't have to go into the computer control. I really like that feature, and you'll like it too, not having to go into the hard drive of the machine and change the stitch speed. It's very nice to have on the machine. Another thing we notice about embroidery mode on these machines, let's say if the power goes out or somebody accidentally turns the machine off, as long as I don't move my fabric out of the hoop, I can pull this design right back up, and if you'll notice, it's extremely detailed, the actual stitch that I'm on. I'll be able to fast forward through my stitch count, stitch by stitch, to get to right where I left off, and I can continue right on. And you won't nobody even know that you ever did that. And we'll just stop it just for demonstration purposes here. Trim the thread out. Notice how easy it is for me to pull my hoop off, and then I've embroidered this design with no problem whatsoever. There's a lot more information on our website about the Necchi Creator 2000. Feel free to give us a call or drop us an email anytime. We carry all the Necchi models. We can compare this model to any other model in the Necchi line or any other brand for that matter, because Ken Sewing Center is an authorized dealer for all major brands now that are on the market. We want to help you find the right Necchi machine for you, so feel free, drop us an email or give us a call anytime. We'll be glad to help you.